launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5 vehicles armed. 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away.
Oh, good evening. I need to take this out of my face. Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to a Celestis live broadcast. It's one of our monthly update broadcasts that we do for the families and all those that are interested in what it is that we do. I am Marc Lee, and I am a Celestis ambassador, and we are bringing you yet another update of what it is that's going to be going on next month. So hopefully, everyone who really needs and wants the information for next month's launch is watching us. We are previewing this on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you know of any members who could not access a Facebook broadcast, you might want to give them a call right now and tell them to go to our YouTube channel. And this broadcast is being shared there as well. So without any further ado, I'd like to bring up my boss and mentor, Mr. Charles Chafer. And we have a lot of information we're going to be sharing to you. I don't know if it's the final broadcast, but Charles will be telling us if we are going to have another one before our launch. Hey, boss, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, you went from Alvin the Chipmunk to normal sound. For those of you who already caught on to that, sorry about the hiccup there, but see that everything is
sorry. I was working out, so that's why you heard the voice.
No, it was really fun.
Hey, Charles, I'm actually watching this on my phone as well, and I think I accessed the YouTube channel. And as we bring up the comments, you can already see a lot of people are popping in. Some are saying we're breaking up. Laurie said it's better. Joni says I'm much better, so that's good to hear. So how you doing, boss? What is going on? What are you sharing with our family today?
Well, it's getting exciting. This is what I would expect to be the penultimate Facebook Live event before our launch. Assume. In other words, there's at least one more that we'll do. But I have a lot of information focusing on Horizon Flight. And in a little bit, we'll be joined by MaryLiz Bender of Cosmic Perspective, the amazing folks that will be doing our webcasts for the memorial service and the live launch. And she's got a little bit of how-to especially for Horizon Flight family members who would like to make video tributes for their loved one, which we will use during the memorial service, during the launch, during the coast phase before the spacecraft is released. But just in general, how to, it's pretty simple, but we're looking forward to having her on board. So what do we know? What do we don't know? We know that there are 2 more Falcon 9 launches in front of us. Tentatively on the manifest, a January 4th launch to geosynchronous transfer orbit of the TurkSat satellite, communication satellite for Turkey. And then tentatively before us, which would be sometime between the 6th and the 11th, let's say, another Starlink launch where about 60 more Starlink satellites will be launched. So we're in the queue. We're not next on the flight line yet, but it's going rapidly. And as we've all noticed lately, the cadence of launches, both with SpaceX and with everybody else, has really picked up. And for those of us that are space geeks and interested in such matters, that's a really good thing. So let me say that one of our viewers last time said, how come you're talking about this date when it's supposedly January the 14th? And I can say that we have now reached back to our providers numerous times, and we still have no commitment for a flight other than sometime in January. Now, there are some manifests out there that show January 14th, but for those of you who know me and know the world of space, we think, and no, we are not Starlink. We are the transporter launch, for the comment that just came in. And so that's tentatively scheduled for the 14th of January. As soon as the date gets solid, and honestly, it won't get solid until those two flights in front of us go. And that's really when I think the launch date will be as firm as they get until they get on the launch pad. But let's talk a little bit about the mission itself. We are referred to as the transporter launch, and the mission is to launch it's a dedicated rideshare launch from SpaceX, one spacecraft of which is the Sherpa FX, or as our providers call it, Mission X or SRX-3. And that is the name of the Sherpa spacecraft, Sherpa being a multi-satellite carrier that will be launched on the Falcon 9. And when I say multi-satellite carrier, on board Sherpa will be 16 satellites and 2 hosted payloads. 6 microsats, 10 CubeSats, and 2 hosted payloads. Marc, can you put up the not the video, but the visual of the Sherpa so we can talk to that for just a second?
Absolutely. Which one do you want? Because
just the photo. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. Okay. So there you see Sherpa decked out in all of its glory. And if you're looking at it as I am, if you look at the lower left, you see a fairly large satellite attached to Sherpa. And just above that, a very small hosted payload attached to Sherpa. And it's got a blue top, and it's got you can't quite see it in this photo, but it's got a Celestis logo on top of that blue lid. And you see the lines of our flight capsules on that spacecraft. So that's where we're riding on Sherpa. That's how we're manifested. That's how we're going to fly. We will never be released from that. We'll remain a hosted payload. And a little more background about everything else that's on board before I come back to the Celestis payload. Interesting, there are 3 countries represented. There are 9 Canadian spacecraft on this satellite. One named Hugo from the GHG satellite, but 8 from a company called Kepler Communications, which is basically a Internet of Things communicator. So it's a small fleet of satellites that will connect remote devices together. So as is always the case, we're on board with a bunch of stuff that is being flown for other purposes. So let's talk a little bit about the mission itself. As I've said, I think we have 105 flight capsules on board our container. We're going to, the nominal orbit is a sun-synchronous 525 kilometer in altitude, which translates into 326 miles high. For reference, the space station flies just about 70 miles below that at 254 miles. That 326 mile orbit, should it be achieved, which we're all hoping it will give us a 4 to 6 year orbital lifetime for the spacecraft. There's a question about coordinates. Don't have the coordinates till it flies. You've got the altitude and the near polar orbit that it will fly in. But when it launches, everybody remember, you can go to our website and track it real time, and that will have all of the information that should permit people to try to see it through their telescope. The Sherpa is not particularly reflective. The trend these days is to make satellites less rather than more reflective, because astronomers are worried about the night sky being ruined. And so we've asked whether it will be viewable from the ground. It won't be naked eye viewable from the ground, but I would imagine that since astronomers can get pretty good views of the space station and photos, you may well be able to see it if you have somebody that's really good with the telescope. We, of course, will publish all of that once the flight happens. Where are we in the launch? The final Celestis integration, which means loading all of the capsules, will actually occur in Florida middle of next week. We're sending one of our staff people down on Monday, and so shortly thereafter we should be able to confirm that we're all buttoned up and ready to fly. So reviewing, we're on Sherpa, 105 of us. We're one of 2 hosted payloads that stay permanently attached. The altitude of the orbit is 326 miles, and we'll be hopefully done integrating the spacecraft next week, which is getting kind of exciting. And from there, we just wait for Turksat and Starlink, and then we're ready to go. At this point, let's talk about what we're going to be doing for the launch. As I think everybody knows, COVID is doing its best, I guess, or worst, to really be a widespread issue. And so, as we decided long ago, we're not hosting official events in Florida. Now, some people have written me and said, does this mean I can't go to the launch? No, we don't control your medically driven personal travel choices. And in fact, we have a team in Florida, which I think Christina will publish again, the website information for Jeanette Kennedy, who is sitting there in Cape Canaveral. She runs a travel agency with her husband, Jack Kennedy, and they're ready to assist you should you decide that you just want to go there and be there for the launch. I believe it will be possible to do that and to social distance. The beach is big there in Cape Canaveral. The Jetty Park facility that we normally use is a large park. So there are a lot of places to view the launch live should you decide to go there. And we have no role in prohibiting you from going to that launch. We've just made a decision in the company that we're not going to host a super spreader event, and most everyone has agreed. So here's a question: why can't Kennedy Center guarantee or set aside tickets for us with the fees we paid? That is, if they're offering general public tickets. Yes, you can buy tickets to the Kennedy Space Center. The view from there, I don't think it's as good as the beach, but it's viewable from there. And depending upon what time of day the launch occurs, they may well open it and sell you a ticket to attend that launch. We don't know yet because the launch time of day hasn't been set. But Kennedy is open. They're struggling for visitors. I'm sure that if the launch is during their opening hours, they'll make available tickets. And again, what tickets they make available is an event-to-event decision that they make, and we don't have any role in. Sometimes they open up the Banana Creek viewing site. Banana Creek, as I say, actually turns out to be a little bit further away than the place we recommend and the place that we watch it from, just because of the logistics of where the launch pad is versus where they watch it. So everybody can go see it. Just be careful, please. Now, having said that, our commitment, and we've done this for other missions. Our very first flight was from the Canary Islands, and nobody went there, yet everyone loved the fact that they were able to view the launch live online. I don't remember our Explorer's flight. I don't remember what number it was, but it was from the Kwajalein Atoll, which is in the South Pacific. Again, nobody could travel there, but the webcast was pretty stunning and able to view. So you'll be able to see the launch via our webcast, which will incorporate the SpaceX webcast. Our webcast will be operated by Cosmic Perspective, and MaryLiz will talk about that a little bit. Should be it'll be, again, it'll be a great view of the launch. Actually, it's kind of like a lot of athletic things that you go to. You'll actually see it better on the webcast than you will if you go there, given the constraints of range safety and how far you have to be away from it. But I know a lot of people, or not a lot of people, some people want to go, and we're here to help you if you want to go. So Joni Colson, it will be, I believe, possible to go to this Kennedy Space Center. If you can go there regardless. If the launch occurs during their operating hours, which I believe are 10 to 5-ish during the day, then they will sell you a ticket to see the launch from a place that they have. And you can coordinate all of that through Jeanette Kennedy. And if I don't think Christina has yet posted the website for Jeanette. So Christina, if you're listening, and I think you are, please post that website that I sent you earlier today. So that's viewing the launch. We'll know more about timing as the launch gets set. Thank you, Christina. So Jeanette at younameit.vacations.com is standing by. She can help you with all the reservations that you want if you want to attend. And again, I'm thinking, my advice, and I've seen bunches of launches, is to go to the beach or Jetty Park. I believe that will be a better show than the Kennedy Space Center, but you all make your own decisions. So another question: how much of the launch time is in your control, or is it all up to NASA? Here's one I can give you a definitive answer for. We have zero, none, zip, nada control over the launch. As you see, we are but one of many payloads, some of which have to be timed so that they cross the equator of the Earth when the sun is directly overhead. And those are imagery satellites. But it's not up to us. It's not up to NASA. It's up to SpaceX. So the timing of the launch will be set by SpaceX. And then once you get there, for those of you that haven't followed earlier conversations, it's up to the weather. It's up to the technical performance. Sometimes it's up to whether there are boats in the downrange safety corridor or not. So there are a lot of considerations that have to do with launch. Other things that were included, we're not doing a reception, again, super spreader event. Touring the Kennedy Space Center, you will be able to do, I'm relatively certain of that. Again, assuming that the Kennedy Space Center stays open, which it now is. So you'll be able to go there, you'll be able to see the launch, and you'll be able to tour the Kennedy Space Center. We, Celestis, will not be conducting any on-site activities, but we have arranged for some professionals to help you should you decide to go. Now, the vast majority of you are not going, and we understand that. And therefore, we are committed to doing an amazing job of keeping you in the loop and giving you things and opportunities to celebrate your loved one. The first event that we'll do will be our memorial service, which will be the evening before the launch. So if the launch is January 14, the evening, and by evening I basically mean American East Coast Central Time, we will do a virtual memorial services. So here are friends that says the launch is the 15th, which is quite possible. I am not saying it's the 14th. Thank you, Larissa. I am saying that you can find that every time we've reached out, we've been told we don't have a date yet. And that's really the only dates that we go for, is when Spaceflight tells us you have a date, we have a date. My guess is it won't make the 15th, only because there have to be 2 launches before. So, but what you're already seeing, and this is helpful, is that there's a little bit of slippage. So stay tuned. If you are a family member, a primary contact, or a secondary contact, we will move heaven and earth to let you know when the launch is. But we're only going to tell you that when we know when it is. And again, remember, there are 2 launches in front of us. If one of them has a 1-week delay, boom, we're at January the 22nd. If both of them have a 1-week delay, we're at the end of January. So it's just impossible to say when the launch is going to be. I know people, and every launch, we've done 16, this will be our 17th. We always have people say, no, you have to tell me when the launch is. And all the time I put a smile on my face and say, no, can't do that. Read your contract, listen to us, understand the real world of launch scheduling. So back to the memorial service. The memorial service, and I'm about to bring in our team member, MaryLiz, from Cosmic Perspective, to talk a little bit about this. That is it's going to be a great 1 to 2 hour celebration of the lives of those on board this mission. We have a great set of guests. We have Dr. Frank White, the Harvard-educated social scientist who wrote the groundbreaking book, The Overview Effect, which describes how astronauts' lives are changed when they go to space. Frank has also written the same theme. He noticed that family members who are involved with Celestis experience that same feeling when their loved one goes to space. So Frank, and he wrote an article about that last year. So he's some really good insight into how spaceflight and a loved one's spaceflight is really a compelling experience for family members. Frank will be with us. My good friend, Nicole Stott, who was a 2-time NASA astronaut to the space station, will join us. And we always have astronauts because they can tell you sort of the flip side. What does it look like from up there? We're only viewing it from down here. But Nicole will be able to share with us her experiences of traveling to space and the impact that she thinks that that has. Third guest is Christina Rasmussen, who is really an interesting social psychologist who deals with what she calls life reentry. Another way of thinking about that is helping families who have lost loved ones. And she's actually really connected to the space efforts and ours in particular, and she'll be a guest at the memorial service. Having said that about all the guests, the memorial service is for you. And what we want you to do if you are a family member is we want you to contribute. So we've created a platform where you can upload a short video very easily describing the loved one that's flying or why they chose or what's special to you about this flight. And in so doing, we'll be able to share that just like we do in all of our memorial services with everybody, in this case, around the world. And in all cases, our memorial services are already webcast. So I'm going to stop a moment now. We've already got some really compelling video from folks. And I see Ann Campbell has joined us, and she was, I think, the first one to send us a video, and we were pleased to see that. MaryLiz, can you come in and talk to folks about how they can, and it's not rocket science, it's pretty easy. So welcome, MaryLiz, who is still in Boca Chica, Texas, having covered the Starship test launch. And if you all haven't seen the video that they created for that launch, go to Cosmic Perspective, and MaryLiz, you can tell them how to get there and watch that video that you all, what I loved about it, it's exactly the kind of video that we make for our families. It's the human element of these launches. So I'm going to stop yammering now. Turn it over to MaryLiz. Again, we're so excited that you guys are part of the team. We know you're going to produce 2 compelling webcasts for us, and you can talk about that, but also just let people know how they can easily construct their videos.
Yes, thank you so much. That was a really generous introduction. And I just have to say, for the memorial service and the launch live stream that we're preparing together. You mentioned the guests. Those are some of my dearest friends. And now I love going through the video submissions because I get to kind of know the people that are on board and feel more connected to the family members. So as you said, first I should say, if you want to see that Starship video, you can go to cosmicperspective.com/starship. And that is definitely something akin to what we'll create from the launch service and the memorial service as a keepsake for you all. So that said, all we need from you all is your video submission, your tribute video. This is something that should just be about 1 minute to 3 minutes long maximum. And, what we were kind of thinking is maybe take some time over the holidays to sit down and really think about your loved one. Think about why they wanted to go to space. Think about why you decided you wanted to help them fulfill that dream. And, the key is I'm not doing the best job right here because I have a really dark situation, but I have a little light pointed at my face. If you could just have your face lit up well. And, you know, if you have headphones, use those. If not, it's no big deal. This doesn't have to get super fancy. But I'm going to share my screen and just show you how simple it is to use this platform we've created. And just as a precursor, the other thing that you'll have the ability to do once you're done recording your video is upload photos. And that would be really nice for us to be able to put, in addition to your video submission, kind of split screen, we can slide through some of the photos that you provide of your family member or a loved one. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and walk you through this really quickly, and bear with me as you'll see me infinitely for a second, but now you should see the Horizon Flight Launch Memorial webpage. Now, I believe we'll be continuing to send out the link to this page, but if you want to make note of it, it is tribute.co/Celestis. And it's, again, very simple. You can go to this on your phone if you would rather use your smartphone camera to record your video. If you do that, I just ask that you do that with your camera horizontal, so you get a nice wide video. Otherwise, if you have a webcam, like I have a MacBook Pro with a built-in webcam, so I'm going to show you what it looks like on desktop, but the functions are exactly the same. On this page, if you feel like you get lost or you just want some extra help, we do have in small text on the bottom left instructions for you, but I encourage you to just try it, to go through and do a trial, because you can redo your video as many times as you like, so there's no pressure. But if you just go here and click record or upload video, it's going to walk you through the simple steps. So when I click that, I get a little pop-up window and two options. I can enter my name and email address, or if you're logged into Facebook, you can continue with Facebook. All that's going to do is pull in your name and email address so we can identify you. If you want to do it this way, it'll just pull that straight from Facebook. But I'm just going to use my name, so I'm going to go ahead and put MaryLiz Bender, MaryLiz@cosmicperspective.com. And I'll hit next. And then as you can see on the left side, I have an option to record my video, or I can upload my video. So if you're an advanced user and maybe you're a filmmaker, you're more than welcome to pre-record your video however you like. There's no constraints on the size or anything. We ask that you keep it from 1 minute to 3 minutes long, and it can be a .mov file or a .mp4 file. But if you're not an advanced user, don't let that intimidate you. Just click record video. Now we're going to get some inception going on here. It takes a little bit to load, only for me right now, because I'm doing a lot of processing with live streaming, sharing my computer, and also trying to do this. So hopefully this loads, but when it does, what you get is a really simple countdown. So when you're ready to go, you click record, you get a little countdown that says 3, 2, 1, and then you'll see your face here. You will record, and like I said, just try to look into the camera, really just feel like you're talking to your family members, and you're talking about your loved one, and share whatever you'd like to share about their life. And when you feel good about that, go ahead and click stop. And I'm sorry this isn't loading for the moment, but I can try to play back a video and just talk over that because I have something prepared there. But once it's done, you'll be able to hit either confirm video on the left or redo on the right. So if you were to click redo, it would scrap your first attempt and it would just start over. So again, you can just do this, play, practice as much as you like. And then when you're ready, click confirm video. once you're done and you click confirm video, you'll get a little indication on the top left that says 100% done uploading, 100% done verifying, and you'll get a success message right in the middle that says, success, your video has been submitted. And then you'll see a prompt to upload photos if you want to. You can upload JPEGs or PNG files. All of those work. And that's it. It's that simple on your phone and on your desktop. What I'm going to do, since this isn't loading, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to pull up a video. Oh, now it's working. I think it might be that it's confused about me using my webcam. That's what's going on. So let me pull up the video really quickly that I pre-prepared for you all, and we'll show that. Just bear with me. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to reshare my screen. Okay. Now, you should see, I'm going to turn my audio down and I'm just going to speak over this. So, went through most of this already. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. So again, you would just click the record video button. And then I'm going to skip forward a little because I talk. Oops. So yeah, once I click record, this is what happens when I'm not dually trying to use my webcam for two reasons. So here's me. It's really simple. When you're ready, you click the record button again on the bottom right. This just gives you a sense of your framing, your lighting, how it looks. And then you click that record button. And you can use the advanced settings if you have an external camera. No need to worry about that. You saw there the countdown, 3, 2, 1. You get the ability to watch yourself as you're recording your video. And then in just a second here, I'm sure I'll stop talking. Let's skip forward. I'm a talker. And I can see, let me just step back, when I'm ready, when I'm done, I click that stop button. And you see it immediately begins to start uploading. Or if you want to, if you're like, ah, that was terrible, just click the redo button. It'll start you all over again. So I actually, in this video, go through that process. And by the way, we can email this video out to you so you can go through this at your own pace. I'm just going to skip forward. And it's lagging a little here, but once I've decided, once I'm done with that, actually, let me reload this really quickly just in case it's my connection. Just go forward. See my computer's needing a little more time than usual tonight. So in the meantime, as I wait for that to load, I'm just going to pop in and see if there are any questions that I can answer. And Neil asks, is there a place where we can get some ideas to create a video? Actually, Charlie mentioned Ann Campbell did a great submission, and I wonder if she would be willing to allow us to share that, because I think it's a really, really good example to share. It was just very authentic and beautiful. So, and Lisa asks if we're supposed to say the name of the participant at the beginning. Yes, please. Thank you for reminding me. That is.
Oops. You still there? Oops.
Yeah, no, I think she was overloading probably her internet connection and it knocked her off.
Let me take on some of these questions.
Please do. Please do.
And I'll try to get to them. The first one is from Carrie Ostrowski. I assume only the primary family contact is the one responsible for submitting content for the video. That's a big no. We only communicate through primary contacts. So you got the email inviting you to make one or two videos. We honestly, I don't want to say we don't care who does it. What I guess a better way of saying is we want to encourage anybody. We're going to provide 2 video opportunities per participant. So if you're the primary contact and you say, I don't want to do this, or I don't know how to do this, or for whatever reason, you don't want to do it, but your daughter is great at this and she's got some amazing things to say about your loved one, have your daughter make the video. So we communicate, as we say in our contracts, through the primary contact. And we assume the primary contact routes all this information out. Now, we've already sent you one communique inviting you to do this. Tonight is our second invitation for you to do that. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, you will get a third and a fourth invitation to do it. And that's not because of any reason other than we want to make sure that we've reached you and that you understand that this is a really amazing opportunity that's easy to do. And you can select anybody that you want to speak on behalf of your loved one. It is not limited to the primary contact. Hope that's clear. Neil Vickers, is there a place where we can get some ideas to create a video honoring the loved one? Well, first, hopefully you just got a few, but secondly, go to the Celestis YouTube channel and look at some of our recent launches during the memorial services. Those are almost always dominated by people talking about their loved ones. And you'll see people talking about, oh, my husband did this because Scotty from Star Trek did it. Or my wife did this because she's traveled to all of the continents on the planet and it was time for her to go to space. There are any number of, once you master the technology, which as you can see isn't all that hard, you can let your mind wander. But it's basically, why is this important to you? Why was this important to your loved one that we're looking for? Are we supposed to say the beginning name? Yeah, that'll be really helpful. Thank you. And can we upload photos only? Not on this platform. If there are enough people, or if there anybody, Jill, that wants us to try to put some photos of a loved one up during the memorial service, we'll do that. You just need to send them to richard@celestis.com, and we'll handle that on our end. That won't be on this platform. This platform is designed for moving tributes, of which I'm sure we'll get lots of. And thank you, Ann, for granting permission. We will post, oh, that's the other thing. All of these videos, we're not just going to show them during the launch. All the ones that we get, we will post on the Celestis website, on the participants page, as part of the biography that you've sent us. By the way, if you're on the flight and you haven't sent your biography or your photos in, time is getting short. We know that you want to celebrate the life of your loved one, so you should get your act together and send us some stuff that we can put up. If you go to our website and go participants, you'll see the amazing breadth and depth of the people that have chosen our service. And you want to be sure that your loved one is on board there. And we will load those videos on the website as well. We'll probably use several of them in our Facebook posts. So, Ann, we will get yours up so people can look at that. And that's back to Neil. I would say, look at Ann's. We loved hers when she sent it in. And as we get more, we'll post more, and they will give you some ideas. This isn't hard. It should be a loving exercise. It should be done during the holidays when several of you are together. You can do a group video and have all 4 of you in the photo or in the video, and each of you can speak, or only one of you can speak. There's sort of an unlimited opportunity to celebrate the life of your loved one. I always say at our memorial services, this launch is for you. And it is, and this memorial service is for you. But we need you to participate in a little bit different way this time, other than just showing up and walking up to the podium and talking. And I'll share something with you that I always find out at our live memorial services. We reach out to everybody and we get a few people that sign up in advance. And so we bring them aboard, we bring them up, they do their speeches, and then we're flooded with people who have seen this and say, oh, I want to do it. And we bring them all up and everybody talks. That's going to be harder this time. So you need to get that feeling, your love for the person that is doing this amazing thing. They're going to space on a Falcon 9 rocket. Get that love brewing up in advance and go ahead and make your video in advance, because I guarantee you during the memorial service and during the launch, if you didn't do it, you'll wish you did. And that's just Charlie telling you from the experience of doing this 16 times that you're going to have those feelings. So we want to make it as easy as we can for you. If you're confused, call us. We'll walk you through it. If you make one that you don't like, just tell us. You can make another one. And it really is a pretty amazing, simple technology. And again, we have participants who are on our website since 1995. So when you put this tribute on our website, it's a permanent memorial to your loved one. It's a permanent way to share your feelings about them. And we'll stay in touch with you. We'll stay on you. We'll say, sure, you don't want to do this. It's not hard. It's easy. You'll be happy that you did it. And it will make for a very compelling memorial service and launch event. So that's the end of my encouragement for you to do this. And if you don't want to, that's fine. But please do consider it and take a little bit of time. As I say, the holidays are a perfect time to be doing it. And we'd love to help you get there. Marc, at this point, I'm wondering, can you show the video of Sherpa that you have? Thank you. That was great. A really quick, sped up version of what you'll be seeing over about 20 minutes from liftoff to orbital insertion on launch day. And it's very exciting. And this is the first Sherpa flight. It's the first time we've flown with Spaceflight. We're very excited about, we've worked with them very diligently to get this done. And as I've said, once we're in orbit, we will then be able to track the launch on our website, and you'll be able to, any time of day or night. I've got a big screen here in the office, which you'll see during our broadcast, and I've got 3 of my satellites that are currently in orbit, just real time. You can look at it. It's such a great feeling. I've got 3 spacecraft. But for you all, it's even more. That's where mom is, or that's where grandma is at any given time of the day. It's a really cool feature of what we provide in the launch. MaryLiz, would you be able to tell us a little bit about the plans you have for covering the launch live from Cape Canaveral?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just, you'd mentioned there are 2 flights before our flight, and that's typical these days. I've covered over 70 launches now, and we see almost on average, almost a launch a week or 3 launches a month at Kennedy Space Center. So it sounds crazy, but it's becoming normal these days. But I'm excited for this one because this is such a special event, and so my partner Ryan and I are pulling out all the stops. So basically, what you'll see is we will be embedding the SpaceX webcast into our webcast, but we're going to start before SpaceX even starts. That way we can all be together and really ramp up the celebrations before countdown. And then when SpaceX does their webcast, we'll pull that in. So you're going to see that. You're going to hear the audio. You won't miss any of that essential information. But I'll be emceeing. We'll be talking to you throughout the launch operations, and then you'll get a view from the ground. So we'll be just a couple miles right across the water where they take media to go. So it's a pretty limited access situation, but we really want to bring you as close as we can to hear and see the rocket as close as possible. So when we're there, we always set up, a nice microphone so you can really hear it, and a telescope and a beautiful behind the scenes cinema camera view. And so you'll kind of it'll be fun. It'll be, I hope that as much as possible will make you feel like you're there and you're not just watching the SpaceX webcast that everyone else is watching. Of course, that's going to be live streamed to YouTube, the Celestis YouTube and Facebook pages. And so there you can engage in the comments with the community here and all the other people that are sending their loved ones to space. Once we're done with the countdown, so we'll all count down together. I hope you'll be able to feel our energy as we're witnessing the launch from right there. I always want to try to translate that to people as much as possible. It's so magical. And then, of course, we have a landing because this is on a Falcon 9. So not only will we witness the launch together, but even before the satellite deploys, we'll get to witness the magic of a Falcon 9 landing, likely on a drone ship out in the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll follow that whole process, and then we'll follow the process of the satellite deployment, which means that the rocket has now ejected the satellite and your loved ones will enter orbit. Now there is a period of time during the coast phase, and we have several things planned for that time. We'll be speaking, we'll have some special guests, and then we'll also be sharing some of the tributes that you contribute. So I think it's definitely going to be one of the most special launch live streams I've ever been a part of. And that's saying a lot. I've done a lot, but I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be just a very beautiful event. And I'm excited to have you all. So yeah, if there are any questions on that, I'd love to elaborate and answer.
It's a really good point. Again, for the people that attend the launch, I would take a device with me and try to tune into all this stuff, because the things you won't see if you're there on the beach or in Jetty Park, you won't get the early pre-launch count. You won't get all of our guests who are really knowledgeable, articulate, and enthused. You won't hear any of those. You won't see the landing, because unless they bring it back to on shore, which they don't do nearly as often as they land on the drone ship. You won't have that. And you won't have all of the coverage that we're going to be providing on satellite deployment. So if you do go, take a mobile device and tune into the launch webcast, even if you're there, because we want to make sure that you're going to see everything and have a complete experience, even if you happen to be there for the launch.
Right. Hey, Charlie, I have a question for MaryLiz, if she doesn't mind answering one for me. Now, I know we're doing this webcast, and I know we're still trying to get together our puzzles on how we're all going to do this, but I need to ask you something that may help us in terms of our broadcast. Is how many cameras are you actually using for this broadcast, and can we tap into each one to show all the vantage points that you're obviously going to be showing our guests, so that we have a better idea of how to plan this, and Charlie and our team can all, get together and say, well, here's the image of the launch, here's another image of people in the park, and yada yada.
Yeah, we'll have a couple different vantage points. So there will be 3 total cameras from me, and lots of fun ways that we'll be able to switch between views. And then we'll have the SpaceX webcast. So SpaceX webcast is one thing. You're kind of thinking of it the way that you see us 3 here. And then we'll have the ability to have the slideshows of the photos and the tribute videos. But also, right, beautiful. And then we'll have a telescope view, which is kind of our cosmic perspective, like niche thing. We bring a giant telescope and we show very zoomed in, just stunning 4K video of the rocket. And sometimes we can even do a fun replay in slow motion. So we'll have that image or that video. And then we'll also have a behind the scenes video where you can kind of get more of a sense of the water, like a wide shot. You get a sense of the place, which, Kennedy Space Center is a magical wildlife refuge. So that's a special shot. And you'll see us, us little humans with our big telescope and that crazy rocket right across the water. And then I'll have a front on camera. So when I'm talking, you actually see me.
All right. And one last statement before I pop off and let Charles go. I have seen that Starship video and I was gobsmacked. I mean, you literally had an upfront, as if you were there, view of the rocket returning back to Earth in its horizontal position. And then the retros fired and it upended it basically. And I was like, wow, how did it? So I would encourage everyone, if you haven't seen that video, you need to go to Cosmic Perspectives YouTube channel, I'm assuming, and take a look at that. Take a look at how good these guys are, these wonderful people, and what they have done and what they're about to do for us. So I'm out of here.
Thanks, Mark. That was so lovely. Now, Jill just asked a question. Yes, there will be a downloadable, Charlie, maybe I should allow you to confirm that, but a downloadable copy of the service and launch.
Yeah, as well as you're going to do as good a job for our launch as you did for Starship.
That's
so
right.
The family video is going to be done also. So yes, everything will be able to be downloaded that we do live, and then we'll do the best of, and trust me, there's going to be some great best of. I'm very excited about this. We'll probably end up doing this when we go back to attending launches, God willing. Just so, because this is going to be, it'll be our first time doing it this well, and we'll all learn some things, but I'm very excited, and we're just so pleased to have discovered Cosmic Perspective. They're great to work with. And as I said to them early on, they get it. And so for our families and friends and everybody that's a Celestis participant here, you couldn't be in better hands. So before we close off, I will say that this has been what usually happens when we get near launches, which is we talk about all the things that we're doing for the launch. But I wanted to remind everybody that in the spring, we'll be teeing it up again from Spaceport America. Right now, they're not allowing anybody on Spaceport America, but we'll have MaryLiz and Ryan there, and we'll be covering it. But it may well be, with the vaccine progress and everything, it may well be we can go back to live being there in May. We are shipping within the next 30 days over 60 flight capsules to Astrobotic to go to the moon. Think about that. Our lunar mission will be aboard the first ULA Vulcan Centaur, sending the Astrobotic spacecraft to the moon from Cape Canaveral in the fourth quarter of next year. Again, hopefully we'll be able to be there, but if not, there's a lot of stuff that you can't see that goes into a lunar launch that we'll be able to bring you for our partners. We're already taking reservations for our next Earth orbital launch, the Excelsior flight, which will release the details of it shortly after the first of the year, but it's a 2022 mission. Most of you who are on tonight know that because we gave you the choice of staying with Horizon or moving to Excelsior or flying on both for a dramatically reduced cost. And then we have our Voyager mission also in the late 2022, which is our first deep space mission that will fly Majel, Gene, and Scotty, among many others, into deep space. So I see a question here from Abby Cannon saying, so we aren't allowed to be there. Abby, you must have joined us late, because you're allowed to be there. We have, as you'll see, contact Jeanette Kennedy, Jeanette at younameitvacations.com, and she will guide you through how to do that. It's still a country that you can travel in. I recommend the beach or the Jetty Park in Cape Canaveral. NASA Kennedy Space Center, if the launch occurs during their operating hours, will sell you a ticket. You can go view it from there. Again, from my perspective, I would choose to go to the beach or Jetty Park. I think it's a better view than at Kennedy Space Center, but there'll be all kinds of opportunities to attend the launch. So you're welcome, Abby. Happy you joined us, and you are certainly allowed to go to the launch, assuming the state of Florida doesn't go to shelter in place. So with that, I think we've hit our 1 hour time frame. My excitement always gins up when we're getting ready for a launch, and this is number 17 for us. And wow. So I'm still excited. This will be our best one ever. We have great partners in Cosmic Archive. We have a great ambassador in Marc Lee. We have wonderful guests who will be with you throughout all of the events of the launch, and we'll be back with you again before the launch. We'll let you know when that will be. Right now, I'm not 100% certain what day of the week it will be. If we hold to our Monday Facebook Live, it will really be bumping up against the 15th. Well, the 15th will be shortly after that. I think it's like the 11th or something. We might do it then, but you'll be hearing from us. And we look forward to hearing from you. And we're looking forward to honoring your loved ones with a journey to space, which is really what this is all about, is we will get them to orbit. And that is ultimately our job, and it's a job we've done since 1995, and we'll continue to do that. So thanks everybody for being with us tonight, and we will look forward to ramping up the excitement. Get your memorial videos made. You don't want to be left behind on that front. Call us if you're confused about how you do that.
Right. I want to give my personal thanks to MaryLiz Bender here. I mean, she's an absolutely great addition to the team. We've witnessed her work already, so I'm ecstatic to see what's to come out of this next launch. Don't forget, guys, December 30th. December 30th is your deadline. Don't wait until the evening of the 29th of rushing to try to get your video finished. Do it now. Okay, but if you can't, if you're still lost for words or you need to refilm to make, because you came up with a better way of doing this, December 30th, please. December 30th, please get this to us. Any further questions anyone have, please ask us on our Celestis Facebook page or our Celestis website. Don't wait. Give us a call. Pick up the phone. We'll answer as well. I think this is going to be ever more exciting if we all, as a family, like we have in the past, can't be there. Those that do decide to venture out, go ahead and heed Charlie's warnings about, be safe, social distancing. You know the routine by now, and it's been 10 months. So it's nothing new we're telling you here. But other than that, please visit Cosmic Perspective's website. Take a look at everything that they're involved in. There's a lot of video for you to, to take in. They are fantastic. I just want to show here. Charles, can you just answer this question for me? Can you explain this shot?
Yeah, sure. That is staff member Celestis Keith Pereira on your left, and our mission manager Mike Coletti on the right at the Spaceflight Auburn, Washington headquarters, where we delivered the initial run of Celestis flight capsules in that little blue box, which they have been busily working on the integration of, and they will finalize the integration of all of them next week. But that's the you were there photo.
Yes, that is absolutely awesome. And of course, that is the initial construction of our payload vehicle, correct?
Correct. That's Sherpa raw bones.
Raw bones, correct. And of course, a little bit of a graphic description of everything about Sherpa. And you can find these on Cosmic Perspective website. And please explore. There's a lot of information that we gave you. We're going to try to squeeze in one more broadcast. And we'd really like to know if any of you guys actually are planning on going out. Why don't you contact us and let us know that you're there, so we can probably do a shout out to you actually being on site. So if you could do that for us, we'd really appreciate us. Tell us that you're going. Let us know that you're there. Okay. Other than that, I think that's it. Charles?
Yeah, we're good. So thank you, everyone. We couldn't do this without you. I hope you get the sense of how seriously we take our obligation to do what we said we were going to do, which was get your loved one to space. And we look forward to counting it down and flying.
All right, MaryLiz, thank you so much, dear. Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Marc. Thanks, Charlie.
And we will sign off with this.
This is the launch conductor in mission control. We pause at this moment in our countdown to remember and honor the lives of each of the participants on the Celestis Memorial Spaceflight. Their presence on this flight signifies a commitment to the opening of the space frontier shared by all of us. We wish the friends and families present today and all those who are with us in spirit all over the world Godspeed, good luck, and our thanks for allowing us to share this very personal time with you today. Elsie out. 5, vehicles armed, 3, 2, 1, fire. Missile away.
Good night, everyone.